Hey everyone, welcome to a worldwide exclusive review. My name is Michael.
This is Peter.
Today we have the Kobo Aura H2O.
Yes,
it's the first waterproof e-reader that Kobo has released, and pretty well the second waterproof reader globally.
Yep,
exactly. Pocket Aqua was the first, but it hasn't really seen a widespread commercial release, whereas with Kobo, they're in a lot of countries. You're going to see this really take the world by storm in the next month.
So this is the device. We're very confused as to why they didn't go the whole flush bezel screen route. They went for the sunken effect, just kind of like the Kobo Touch and the Kobo Glow. Very strange. Very good look though. The back is this asymmetrical artistic design. They've strayed away from the conventional quilted back that they've had on all the other devices. Then we'll look at the sides. We have clean sides all around. You have a power button up top. Clean side on this side. The bottom will be completely devoid of anything exposed because this is waterproof. You have a latch, and on this you'll see a rubber seal or rubber grommet here, and what that does is makes a good seal so that all of this stuff doesn't get exposed.
Now exactly what is in there?
We have a SD card, micro, up to 32 gigabytes. We have status indicator light. This extra hole is for the latch, like so. And we have the micro USB port, which is utilized for charging the device and transferring data to and from the device to your computer. So we tap the power button to wake it up. And this is the home screen, Mike. Tell us what we're looking at.
Okay, the resolution is 1440 by 1080, so you're getting tremendous screen clarity and resolution. It also has a front lit display, and you can get this going by clicking brightness and then putting it your optimal setting. We'll be conducting a proper nighttime reading test because it's hard with studio lights to see exactly what's going on here. Let's check out some menus. You get your reading stats, awards, and your various dictionaries. Reading stats, it just gives you an indication on how long it takes for you to get through a particular book, average number of page turns, etc. You have the Kobo bookstore here, so you have your main store here as well as some Kobo recommended reads. So this is sort of the interface for the store. If you want to learn more about a book, you can see that everything's pretty snappy. Kobo's really improved their overall interface to be a little bit more quicker and more robust. In your library, you could send articles from Pocket Read It Later to here. You could make collections as well as create new ones here. So we don't have one, but if you wanted to, you can create one. So
the keyboard's very similar to all the other Kobo Auras. It's the conventional QWERTY.
And I could say, okay, in this one I want Gone Girl and the Silkworm. And now in my collection I have these two books, so fairly solid. Alright, so what are some new features found in the H2O that aren't in any other Kobo e-reader? Well, if you go to reader settings, it says water detection, automatically detect water droplets. I noticed that when we first started opening up books and starting to read them, this pop-up would always appear.
Yeah.
And there was no way to really kind of get rid of it.
It was kind of registering things that were on the device, like fingerprints, a little bit of dust, and it kept popping up because it's like, there's water on the screen, there's water on the screen, and it kept telling us to use the Kobo cloth that was included to wipe it down, so we ended up just turning it off for the sake of this review.
Right. Also that there are some other settings that aren't in any other readers. One of the things that I really like is the ability to turn off Kobo notifications so you won't get curated content fed to you. It's mainly this is all the data that is on our device, and you won't actually see promotional Kobo stuff, which I really like. Another one of the cool things is more visual cues. So when you actually press the sync button now, it says starting sync and it'll tell you exactly what it's updating.
Right.
So it's updating reading life, reading stats, and this is coming from cross-platform. So if you actually have the Kobo app installed on your Android or on your iPad or something like that, you purchase a book, when you hit the sync button, all of that sort of stuff from your iPad will be transferred over to your dedicated e-reader. Speaking of e-reader, this is what it's really all about. We're going to click on a book here, and this is The Silkworm by J.K. Rowling under a pseudonym. Now this is using new screen technology called e-Encarta, and there really isn't too many other e-readers on the market that do it. So as you see when we're turning pages, you're not really seeing that full page refresh occur every page. Instead it happens about every 6 pages.
Right. So we'll just take a look at what we're seeing here. We have the conventional options like quick nav, text size, and you can change all this. Everything changes live. You have slider bars to give you full functionality.
Here's your default fonts. There's a lot of them.
No wingdings.
If you're not happy with these font selections, Kobo does allow you to load in your own fonts.
Exactly. Something else Kobo's been really cool at is advanced. Advanced is, this is the only one that really does this. You can see before and after of what your page is going to look like, font size, weight, font face. So this is what we have now. This is what we will see, and we'll just click apply to do that, but we're not going to show that because it's a little compressed. But the reading experience is quite nice. Long presses work well. You have notes, highlights, searches, and shares. So Facebook is the only social media they have as of right now. And you can drag the anchors to make longer highlights and notes, and there you go. Resolution's quite nice, so you end up seeing no confliction between the highlight and the back. It's very clear what you highlighted. It's very clear what you're clicking on. No real complaints or anything to say negatively about the reading experience. The translations come up with the dictionary, so you can go French to English, Deutsch to English, and a couple other languages. Not quite as good as the translation feature on the Amazon Kindle, but it does help you out.
So you can click here to see some of your statistics. How much is in this chapter. What I noticed here is that there's really no beyond the book settings.
Yeah.
And this was something that Kobo really hyped last year, which gives you the equivalent of Amazon X-Ray, people, places, and things.
Right.
So you can learn more about, say, if you're reading The Hobbit, you know, what's the deal with Bilbo, what's the deal with all the main characters. And this beyond the book is super relevant when you are reading series like Lord of the Rings, which is fairly complicated.
Yes.
There's a lot of characters,
man.
There's a lot of places, there's a lot of terminology that the elves use or the dwarves use that doesn't immediately make sense.
Yeah.
But Beyond the Book would make sense of it. But so far, it's not in this pre-release build that we have here. Let's look at a PDF.
So we have our science PDF here because this gives us a good mix of text with diagrams and such. First thing we did is naturally, I want to go closer. Let's pinch and zoom. We found that didn't really do anything. We tried pinching and zooming. We tried holding it till it kind of registered. It didn't do anything, but it is still actually working. So what you actually have to do is double tap. That initiates this default zoom level. Then you can move it around.
Now, if you notice here in the top left-hand corner, it's a virtual snapshot of the document that we're on, which helps orientate you exactly where you are, so you don't really get like lost or confused.
Yeah. Then you let go, and then you get this option. If you press the little control pad, you can revert back to fitting to width, fit to height, or rotate. So
this would rotate it and say like from portrait mode right now to landscape mode.
Exactly. And this bar is really your only functionality for any sort of pinching and zooming at all. So if we want to go back, we just press the fit to height, for example, and it'll fit the top of the document to the bottom of the document. And there you go. So
you could also have other options here, like you could actually search for specific bodies of text and actually access the dictionary as well.
Yeah.
Not too, you know, I love capacitive screens like the Kobo Aura, where the screen is flush with a bezel, where it does support pinching and zooming. That's very intuitive considering a lot of us use smartphones and tablets.
But the PDF experience on this, and at least the first launch, because we are getting this ahead of when it actually comes out.
Yeah, we're getting this a good like 2 to 3 weeks before it actually comes out.
Yeah.
So maybe the firmware will be updated.
I'm almost sure it will be, because the PDF experience on the Kobo Aura and Aura HD was fantastic, and they can't go from that to this.
Right. So when it comes down to it, the H2O was designed to read in the bath,
right,
on the beach, on vacation.
That is what it's marketed for.
Yeah, so you can think of this as, this is pretty well the same as the original Kobo Aura HD. It's a 6.8-inch screen. It allows for more, you know, because of the larger screen, you could show more text on a page than say you could on a Kindle Paperwhite or anything like that.
I like the award system they have. It gives you a lot of encouragement to continue reading, you know? Like, oh, I've read my first book, I've read my first mystery, and so on.
Right. So there is a web browser on this. So it allows you to surf the internet. It's under beta features.
Right near Sudoku.
Yeah. And chess and a sketch pad. So you can press start here. And you could search for whatever you want. We're just gonna type in Goody Reader. So you can see there's a little bit of a delay between when you hit a key,
right,
and it actually loads.
And we've also noticed a little bit of difficulty with large MB PDFs. We put about a 200 MB PDF on there, and it did have a little bit of trouble kind of pre-rendering the whole thing for you to be able to navigate. It took a little bit of time. It ended up only loading about 20% of it. It was very unresponsive, so hopefully that does change with time, because the PDF experience was so good on the Aura and Aura HD. We'd like to see that reflective onto this. Right,
so this is the mobile edition of our website, so you can see that it loaded up like pretty quickly.
Right.
So for those of you that want to surf the internet, this is the type of experience that you can expect.
It's quite good because of the big screen.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so we looked at reading, we gave you an overview of the device, we looked at some of the settings that separate this from the Kobo Aura HD.
Yep.
Peter, you know, when it comes down to it, firmware issues aside, would you recommend this device?
I absolutely would. I like the fact that it is waterproof and it is 6.8 inches. It's refreshing to see more larger screen e-readers, because just about everybody's making 6 inches. Sony 6 inches, Tolino 6 inches. I'd like to see more larger screen e-readers without being too big like a DX, because this is still portable and this makes sense to be waterproof because you're gonna take this to the beach. Yeah, we have a DX.
Right, this isn't pocket friendly.
No,
this is
totally
pocket friendly.
Yeah, I mean, you can complain all day long about little intricate things, but that will change because this hasn't been released yet. This has all the hardware potential and capability to run whatever they want to do with it, essentially.
Yeah, this is the first e-reader that Kobo's released that virtually you can take it anywhere and you can do anything with.
Exactly.
And one of the big problems with waterproof devices is that they didn't exist, and in order to waterproof, say, your Kindle, you had to send it away to a third-party company, pay anywhere between $50 to $79 for them to waterproof it for you. Whereas this is the same price coming out as the original Kobo Aura HD, which incidentally, when Kobo first released the Kobo Aura HD, they only anticipated that it could prospectively be 5% of their sales, and ended up being over 25% of their total device sales, and they're hoping to replicate that here with the Kobo Aura.
I think they will.
The
H2O, yeah.
So
I think they will.
Let us know your thoughts. This has been a first look, and stay tuned to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/goodyreader, for a bunch of other videos featuring this device. So this is Michael and Peter, and everybody take care. Have the box, we'll put it in the box, we'll give you the charger, we'll give you the USB cable, give you the manual, give you the retail packaging, and we'll send it right to you for free. What do you gotta do? Same thing as usual. You gotta watch our video, you gotta like our video, you gotta subscribe to our channel, and you gotta leave a comment. You have to leave a comment because it's just a nice thing to do, okay? You can't just expect to watch our video and we just kind of hand it to you. You gotta at least participate. You gotta say, hey, you know, thanks everybody, thanks Goody Reader, you're the best ever, you know, like what most people do. And, you know, it's